You may find yourself on the surface with your buddy, where your buddy may need some assistance getting back to shore or to the boat. There are 3 ways to tow your buddy. The first way is called the tank valve tow. Called the tank valve tow because you grab your buddy by the tank valve and you kick with your fins going underneath her or him's tank. And you notice that she's getting as flat as she can to make it easier for me to tow her. I can also reach over and grab her low pressure inflator if I need to add air. If the seas are really bad and the surf's really bad, she can put a regulator in her mouth so that she doesn't get any water in her airway. This is the most common type of way to tow people because it's easier for me to kind of see where I'm going. I have to look over my back and I can kind of see what's going on with her. And she can help kick if she feels the need that she can kick. Another way to tow a tired diver is called the underarm tow. This tow is useful if you want to be able to see where you're going, or if you have to administer rescue breaths to the tired diver, or in this case it would be an injured diver. In order to do this one, it's good to have your mask on and your regulator in. And then I'm going to go underneath her arm and reach up and grab her strap or D-ring, just like this. I can also grab her low pressure inflator so that I can have positive control of this. I'm going to put my head down, my regulator in, and kick. Just like this. Right? This is a good way to do it. I can see where I'm going and I can check on her to make sure everything's okay. Right? And that's called the underarm tow. Another way to tow a tired diver is called the fin push. Right? You'll use a fin push if you need to get somewhere very fast. You're not able to really see where you're going and you're really not able to communicate to the diver. You'll use this if my buddy is almost pretty much incapacitated. I need to get somewhere quick. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my regulator, put it in my mouth. I'm going to put my mask on. I'm going to take her fin bottoms and put them up against my shoulder. Reach up and grab her calves. This is going to help me put my head in the water and keep her straight and push her as fast as I can in the direction I want to go. It looks like this. You may notice how quick it is, but I have to look up every so often to check on her and to see where I'm going. Sometimes, if you have a very long surface swim, you might experience some cramping in your legs. Right? There's 2 ways to alleviate your cramp. The first way is a self-alleviation, where you reach up, grab your knee, fall down to your heel, grab your fin tips, and extend your fin. Right? You can kind of get a nice push, stretch back. If the surf's real bad, you can put the regulator in your mouth and your mask on, so you don't have to worry about any water getting in your airway. An easier way to do it is if your buddy will help you alleviate that cramp. Say, hey buddy, I'm cramping. Right? Your buddy will come up to you, brace your leg with the one hand, and then push the fin toward you another way. It's a lot easier way to do that. You don't lose balance. Those are 2 ways to clear a cramp on the surface. Now, say for instance, I've swum all the way down to Peace Rock, and my low pressure inflator fails on me. If these fail, they'll have a tendency to let air from your tank into your BCD without you wanting it to. And that can be very problematic, especially if it lets air in at such a rate that it's not controllable and you have an uncontrolled ascent to the surface. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to disconnect a low pressure inflator hose underwater, just like that, and then rapidly dump our BCD to evacuate any air that's in there. That might make us negatively buoyant, especially down if we're at Peace Rock or something like that, where our wetsuit's compressed. Right? If we're properly weighted, we might be a little bit negative on the bottom with no air in our BCD. Right? So I want to become nice and neutral so I can swim away from Peace Rock and back up to the surface. Right? So after my low pressure inflator hose is disconnected, I'm not going to be able to add air to my BCD using low pressure inflator button. Instead, I'm going to use my deflate button on the low pressure inflator by adding air from my lungs through the exhaust vent in my low pressure inflator manifold. Right, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take a couple normal breaths on my regulator, right, blow bubbles when my regulator's out of my mouth, press the button, blow in, just a couple bubbles, maybe a quarter amount of your lung capacity, release the button, and then breathe in normally on your regulator after you clear it. Right? You're not going to see a change in buoyancy until you take that initial breath in, right? Because before then, all you're doing is moving air from your lungs to your BCD. Right? You're not adding any more air to your lungs or BCD until you take that extra breath in, and that's when you're going to see that change. If you put a little bit too much air in your BCD and you become too positively buoyant, just let a couple bubbles out of your low pressure inflator until you're neutrally buoyant, and that's how you orally inflate your BCD underwater to neutral buoyancy. The next skill I'm going to show you is the no mask swim. This is a really, really good confidence building skill, and if your mask strap breaks and you actually lose your mask, you'll know that you can move throughout the water even without a mask on to the surface with the aid of a buddy or a sloping bottom or a line or something like that. All right, so the way this works is I'm going to flood my mask, I'm going to remove it, I'm going to swim around the pool using my hands to feel my way around the pool. Make sure that you can breathe out your nose if your mask is off, but do not breathe in your nose because then your water will enter your airway. As I descend down to the bottom of the pool into the deeper depths, I'm going to need to clear my ears like I always do. Then I'm going to find my mask, put it back on like we did before, clear it, and that's the no mask swim. Now I'm going to show you how to breathe on a free-flowing regulator. A regulator is free-flowing if it continues to blow bubbles out of the second stage regulator. It will happen if my high-pressure seat in my first stage regulator fails, and then I have both of these regulators free-flowing at once. I only have a couple minutes to get to the surface, and if my buddy is too far away, my best option may be to breathe on a free-flowing regulator as I ascend, or I can get my buddy's attention and breathe on his alternate second stage. Right, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to take my regulator out of my mouth, blow bubbles when the regulator is not in my mouth. I'm going to bend the mouthpiece back with my 2 fingers. Right, with my thumb, I'm going to depress the purge button to allow it to free flow. Then I'm going to bring the regulator in at an angle, and with my lips, kind of make a tube to sip the air that's coming off of the regulator, just like that. And when I'm not breathing on it, I'm going to move it away from my face so that the bubbles don't dislodge my mask or make me uncomfortable. So one thing to note is I'm not going to try to come on it at a straight angle, because then the bubble will just blow up in me and I won't be able to breathe on that. Remember, I want to pull that aside, sip air out of the opening of the regulator, blow bubbles back at you so that you can see I'm getting fresh air every time I sip the air off the regulator. Then I'm going to take the regulator, put it face down, and then back in my mouth, continue breathing normally. And that is free-flowing regulator breathing.